Hello everyone, I am making this video to highlight the rift between experience levels in Man vs. Machine, as I would like to see more empathy between high tours and newcomers alike. Too often are we quick to immediately judge one another based on tour count alone, and I do feel like there is a path to reconciling differences in experience level. A surprise to no one, the problems that exist with MvM don't actually have to do with the game mode itself, but with the community. Tacobot is a group formed in 2020 in response to the rampant increase in not only cheaters in Man vs. Machine, but also apathetic newcomers that seemingly wanted to treat the mode as their own personal sandbox, actively avoiding improving in any capacity. Any attempts to facilitate improvement would usually result in toxic blowback. Due to the fact that teams are smaller, it's easier for stacks to have a stranglehold on who does and does not complete a tour. I was a member of this group during this time, but have since separated myself from the elitist, if you don't play my way, you're going to be literally executed mindset. I genuinely don't care what you do as long as you're not cheating or trolling. It seems as though Tacobot has purged the idea of kicking anyone for any reason, including the smallest of infractions from the mission statement. This is something that I agree with, as they only list people on their site that are cheating with evidence or are actively queuing with cheaters on their own volition. Obviously, Tacobot suffered a PR nightmare when they implemented derogatory tags in their listings. Very hard to come back from something like that in this kind of community when it's as tight-knit as it is. But they've done away with the harassment narrative entirely, in favor of doing what they can to cleanse the mode of cheaters. I like to think we are as close as a community can be to being universally against scripting, even in MvM, and can pave the way to understanding, reconciliation, and unification against a common enemy. Man vs. Machine is my favorite way to play TF2, and I know that sentiment is shared with many other people. I actively involve myself in community MvM campaigns as well, just because I enjoy the mode for what it is. I am not a grinder, speedrunner, or elitist. I actively research new ways to be effective and have created guides for others that find the current meta stale, which it just pretty much objectively is. I don't care how you play, just as long as you're not cheating, exploiting, or throwing. Everyone has things they've done and said that they regret, and I am not an exception. Many things I have done over the course of my TF2 career have been cringe, unnecessary, and unwarranted. Of course, there isn't really a way to atone for such actions, but changing for the better should be the goal of every person, regardless of whether or not they've been forgiven for what they've done. Everyone is and should be capable of redemption, present company included. He who is without sin may cast the first stone. I love MvM, and I know many of you do too. Unifying against scripters and pompous obdurates should be the objective, not rallying flame wars against one another based on the amount of time they've sunk into a game mode. Or money, for that matter. Speaking from experience, it's difficult not to crash out when you've essentially done nothing but have more experience than someone else, and they've relentlessly attacked you on that basis. There have been multiple cases where, upon joining a game, I immediately mocked for wasting such and such amount of money on tickets. My first instinct used to be to retaliate aggressively, but I have since changed my approach to be more agreeable. This switch alone has made it much easier to communicate with people that do this, and I have made many friends that I wouldn't have otherwise. I have mocked high tour meta slaves more than any other group of people, so being associated with them right off the bat can be pretty irritating. I've got way more enemies on the elitist side of the aisle than the other. Trust me. It's not difficult to comprehend the idea that someone has thousands of tours under their belt, especially given MvM has been out for over 13 years at this point. Castigating someone solely over that fact is just as cringe as kicking someone for genuinely wanting to improve. This video is short, but I hope the takeaway from this is positive, and we can start to bridge the gap that exists between us. Good luck and Godspeed.